Hey team, hope everybody is doing well today. Sending this video out to kind of touch base on some things on all our campuses, for all our campuses. We have updated Belvedere's video system, and we are have done training in person there, but wanted to kind of offer some extended training for the volunteers and the teams that are serving out there on the Belvedere campus, as well as touch base on a few things that's going on for Grovetown campus. And I know the Augusta team will be able to glean hopefully a few things from this as reminders of some best practices. So first off, guys, and when I say guys, I mean team. So guys and gals. So first off, team, the TV apps, we are up and running. So Apple TV, Roku, if you have one of those devices, go to the App Store, start searching Warren. I believe once you get to about the WARRE, you'll see it pop up in the suggestions. So warren.church. So download it, use it, and you can go on there, and we've got all three campuses have icons there that you can look at and watch sermons. You can see all the man-to-man media, the interviews, the videos from the sessions. Another cool thing though, we are able to do on these apps now is live stream directly to them. So if you are someone either was going to their browser through their TV to pull up the website to watch the live stream, or we're airplaying it from your phone to your TV, you won't have to do that anymore. These apps are only on Apple TV and Roku. They are not on the native platforms for like Vizio, Samsung. Like my Samsung TV, I can go download apps on the TV. They don't show up in those app stores. So, but Apple TV, Roku devices, you're good to go. So we pray that that is just going to be another platform, another avenue where people can easily access teaching from Pastor Joseph, Stephen, all our other pastors, and will be just a place where our people, community, can go to access the word in these teachings. So spread the news, use it, and let me know what you think. Another great thing that's happening, is all three campuses starting this Sunday on the 3rd will be streaming. We've gotten all three campuses onto Resi. Resi is our streaming platform that we use. Belvedere and Grovetown will just be going to their Facebook groups. Those two platforms are intended for our people who are plugged into the campuses, who are members of the church, who are active on a weekly basis in person, to be able to access if they just can't come. If they can't come, or if they're a member of Belvedere or Grovetown and they're staying home with a bedbound or a homebound relative, they can still participate in the service. Or for any of those people who may just be homebound and cannot physically get out and come to the service anymore. So this is for them. Augusta campus with our online campus, and Drew and that team will still be across all platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and Church Online, and as well as the Apple TV and Roku app. So we will be launching that this week on all three campuses. Belvedere's been streaming to Facebook for a while. I know we had one little glitch last week, but we got that squared away and tested, and so everybody should be up and running. So on that, one reminder is Belvedere, Grovetown, your stream should go live on Facebook 10 till the service hour. So 10, or actually 8 to 10 till. There's a little bit of a delay there with Resi, but the schedule is set to go to 10 till, so it may be 9 till, possibly even 8 till. So if you're monitoring that, hit the refresh button on your device, around 7 till, and you should see it if it doesn't automatically pop up on Facebook. But if there is an issue, just shoot me a text. I know like Brian did last week, and we got it squared away and worked out before the service started, or closely towards the beginning of the service. So at 10 till, be mindful of what content you are pushing out of your switcher. So y'all know where those go out, where to monitor it, and what's there. But anything you do, whether it's flipping through graphics on ProPresenter or flipping from ProPresenter to a camera feed real fast, or testing things or whatever, let's try to get all of our testing and all that kind of stuff done and set at before 10 till. So at 10 till, we've got our royalty-free music playing, we've got our loop screens playing, and for that 10 minutes, we got a solid little buffer that our people can start getting online, start chatting online, and take that time, unless we're having issues, of course, but hopefully everything is running well, and take that time to hop in on chat and just greet people as the team and as the engagement. Just say, hey, welcome to worship, and you could do this as yourself, as a member. Be like, hey guys, we're here in the sanctuary. Just want to say thank you for tuning in today. Pray this will be a great time for you to worship with us online. So at 10 till, be mindful of what you're outputting. Again, just be very careful not to be sending iTunes or Spotify or whatever you're using for pre-service music out. Make sure it's that royalty-free playlist that's loaded, that our tech team, our tech staff has loaded into your ProPresenter. Just because we'll get flagged and possibly the stream will get stopped. I know YouTube definitely will stop it. I honestly cannot remember if Facebook will let it go and then pull it down, or if we'll get shut down immediately or close to it. So just to play it safe, we'll go with that royalty-free stuff, and we know we're in the clear. Okay, so next thing, be aware. Sorry guys, I'm looking at my notes here on my computer. All right, a couple of these things will apply to maybe just Belvedere and Augusta, maybe not so much for Grovetown, because Grovetown currently is just the one camera system. We're hoping to make some upgrades in that department soon, but for now we're blessed to be able to have that one good camera. So with that, I was watching the service this past week from you guys. Whoever's on the camera, great job with trying to always consider that you're live, because you are. So there was no major like quick zooms or pans across the stage to whoever's leading. So it was nice, you know, if Kristen's on that far left and she was leading the song, and then Scott or somebody was way over here on this side of the stage, it was a nice pull out and then pan and then kind of push back into that worship leader. So just continue to be mindful that you are live all the time. That camera is live all the time. So let's just make our moves nice and smooth and not distracting for the people who are worshiping with us on the stream. But when it comes to having multiple cameras, and Grovetown, this will apply to you bringing on sermon notes. Because we are able to take that live feed, camera feed, and the sermon notes that go on the side screens, that is going on the live stream now. So we have it set up on the switcher where we can send the program feed, the main out feed of the switcher, to the live stream. So we have sermon notes on the live stream for Grovetown. So that's great. So our people can see the references, write down notes, see the quotes, and can take notes as they're participating in worship. So that's a great job. And I think there was a little issue at the first service last week, but it got changed or fixed for the second hour. So Andrew will continue just to make sure that that key is set up right and that our volunteers are using the proper key, and everything's going great there. But back to cameras, cuts versus fades. Generally, and these are generally general statements, we fade between cameras for music, unless it's a really fast song. We may do some cuts, and then we do our fades on and off of the sermon notes. And then once we get into sermon time, try to use those hard cuts between your cameras. And all we are doing is picking the right transition to minimize distraction. And go back and watch some of these sermons. You can do it on the app, the TV apps. Watch some of the sermons and see how it feels when you watch it. If Pastor's on there or Shane's on there last week and you got a shot of Shane and then you crossfade onto another shot of Shane, well, you're going to see two images of Shane there. And it's not bad, but sometimes it can be distracting if you are intently focusing on his face and watching his mouth as he talks and listening and engaging with him, versus you got Shane and then you got Shane. The hard cuts. To me, it's the hard cuts for sermons are less distracting, because you may cut to a different shot and while someone's looking down reading their Bible, and then they look up and it's changed and they're like, oh, okay, that's great. So general rule, we can do crossfades, we can do creative things during worship, depending on the style of the song. We can match the style of the song, we can match the speed of the song with our transitions. Bringing sermon notes off and on, fades are great, especially if we're going lower thirds. But if we're going between multiple cameras of the same, multiple camera angles of the same person, same content, then try to do those hard cuts. Another thing is framing. I know we very, very, very quickly touched on this for our Belvedere people, and this is a new concept because many of you haven't run camera before, and this is a new tool that we're using in this ministry. There is rule of thirds. So rule of thirds is, imagine there are tic-tac-toe lines, across the screen, dividing into thirds. Left third, left third, center third, and right third. So you got lines right here, and you got a horizontal line and two horizontal lines dividing it into thirds vertically. So usually this top third, you want your eye line to be on that third. So whether it's a tight shot, a wide shot, a head to toe shot, if you generally line the eyes of your subject on that top third right across this part of the screen, it's going to give you proper headroom. It's going to give you a pleasing and appealing shot. Actually, we'll just demonstrate here. So right now, my eyes are on the third. And so I'm looking here and I'm talking, and it's a good composition. My head's not getting chopped off. So my head's not way up here, and I'm looking at the camera and I'm speaking. If I'm the pastor, I'm not getting chopped off because the third is actually right here. So I bring my eyes down, my headroom's in and everything. And the opposite, if I can slouch down a little bit. So if I'm here and now my eyes are actually closer to either center of the frame or this lower third, now it makes it feel like I'm falling off the bottom of the screen. So, and our headroom gets way too much here. So headroom is the distance between the head and the top of the frame. So this is not a very appealing shot, especially if you're watching someone teach, because they're looking down, teaching and looking at the people in the audience, and it just kind of feels like they're about to fall off the bottom of the screen. So there we go. So vertically, eye lines are on that top third. If someone's teaching, is perfectly good, perfectly fine to have them centered in the frame. You'll see with pastor's angles that we shoot with him, we do a waist up. centered on the frame, and then we do a knee up. So waist up is exactly what it says, shooting from the waist to the head, right, and leaving a good headroom. Eye lines are on the third. Knee up is shooting from the knee up. And then you could do head to toe, and that is literally we're showing from the head to the toe on the shot. And then you could even go tighter and do an elbow up. So this shot that we're looking at for me right here is probably actually closer to a shoulder up, but you know, about an elbow up. So this would be pretty tight for a sermon. So we would typically back out to about a waist up or knee up. So that is perfectly centered for sermon time is good. Other things to keep in mind, the horizontal, I couldn't come up with that word, rule of thirds is usually if you're doing an interview or you're filming maybe a profile shot. Here's a good idea. Profile shot of Nick leading or Shane preaching or Stephen preaching or Joseph. Usually you want the person's face, the subject to be on this third because they're looking out towards the audience here. And you're leaving them this room, we call it look room. So you're leaving them this room between this edge of the frame to be able to look, and they're not looking into the side of the frame. So this shot, if I'm talking and speaking versus if I'm on this third and I'm talking and speaking, you kind of lose perspective of that I'm talking to people because I'm talking right into the frame of this TV, and you got all this dead space. This space is not interesting. There's nothing back there. All my attention is directed this direction, going towards the people in the room. So I want to back up, get on this other third as I'm looking, and now I have room and I have connection to those people because I can see where the person teaching is where they're looking. Again, that is profile shots are going to be pretty rare in occasions, but as a possibility of doing that. So that's a general rule of thumb for more so our horizontal, our vertical thirds here. Watch your headroom. So you don't want to chop off the head, but you don't want to have a whole bunch of space above the head. And for Belvedere folks, you know, you may have to play around with or adjust what shots as far as framing. You know, right now, currently, we kind of, that center shot, that center camera shot, we've been doing a pretty tight shot. But if Steven's really moving a lot that Sunday, hey, back that center shot up to a knee up. Give him a little more room to walk in the frames. You don't have to try to follow him or cut away as much. And then that camera 2 shot, maybe make that a full head to toe shot. And then same thing with that camera 3 shot, pull it out, make that your ultra wide, and you've got Stephen on a third, and then you've got the people in the congregation on this third. So make this even taller than a head to toe. Still, you don't want to have him standing on stage down here and you have all this dead space. So bring him up, kind of center him on the stage, and you got people in the pews here. So then it's you know, just a peeling shot. He's not falling off the bottom of the screen, or you don't feel like the camera's tilting up and dropping him off the top. So when we're talking about framing, here's just a couple of examples. So when we're talking about framing, here are just a couple of examples of some small tweaks that I would probably recommend on these shots. This is not picking on Brian or whoever was running camera at Belvedere on Sunday. Please hear me. This is not picking on you guys. Really appreciate the work you guys are doing. I know this is just all very new. A lot of folks who help serve may not have backgrounds in video stuff, and so these are just teaching tools and to help us sharpen our skills. So this first shot here of Shane starting off is, you know, it's not terrible. I mean, here he is. He's centered. I would lose a little bit of that headroom. Again, his eyes are pretty close to the lower to that upper third. But I would probably just lose just a touch of that headroom, maybe split the difference here. This wide shot here, the very center shot, you know, he's a little off center and we got a lot of headroom. His head, his eye line is almost right in the dead center of the screen. So I would definitely get his eyes up to that upper third. This shot right here looks really great. Again, we're maybe just above that that top third, so we're chopping off the top of his head a little bit. Shane's a pretty tall guy, and so we just need to adjust that camera up a little bit. This shot, oh, and actually if we come back here, it looks like they caught it. You guys caught it, adjusted it. This framing right here is great. I would not change anything about this framing. He's centered, eye lines are good, lower thirds are good. I mean, excuse me, not lower thirds. The eye line on the upper third is great. Here's that side profile shot. He is great that he is on the left third looking into open frame. He's not looking into the side of the frame of the video. But when he's got this shot, it's an interesting and compelling shot, but I would pull that out a little bit further, show some people, just to show that he is talking to a room full of people. As we keep on coming through, here's an example of crossfading during the sermon time. So we're scrubbing, and then we got his image, and we transition straight on top of himself. And so it kind of just makes a bit of a confused moment there when you see a couple of different Shanes on the screen. These are just a couple of small examples where minor tweaks can make a pretty big difference in the overall look and feel and quality of what we are presenting. So, Grovetown, you're pretty much running just a full head to toe stage shot, giving Joseph plenty of room to walk back and forth, and it works. It looks good. We adjusted the coloring on the camera. The video quality that came across this week looks great. So I'm excited to that we're going to be getting that out on Facebook starting this Sunday. Again, reminder for streaming, Resi is pre-programmed, pre-scheduled, so you don't have to do anything. Our tech staff at each campus will have it up and running so we can test it at 8:30 in the morning. But as far as kicking off the stream, no need to hit the go button, no need to hit the start button. It'll all happen automatically based on the schedule that we put in Resi midweek. Thanks guys for sticking around and watching the video and listening through these tips to help us improve our quality. We pray that these things will just help sharpen us as a team and the product, the quality of the product that we can help present. You know, we are grateful that we have great leadership and God speaking through our pastors, and we want to do the very best we can to help support them and help them deliver visually what on all our platforms. And I'm so grateful for you, for your commitment to the church as a whole, your commitment to seeing God's word go forth, and just grateful to be serving alongside each and every one of you, even though it may be Grovetown, maybe Belvedere, maybe Augusta. I see us as one team and very just grateful to serve alongside you. So that's it for this this video. Be sure to go get the TV apps if you have not. And also we've got some exciting things happening this week with the website. So y'all be sure to check it out as well. So thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you Sunday.